There's no shortage of mysterious and creepy characters in the world of gaming. For example, when you read the caption of this video, maybe you thought to yourself, yes, I know who the most mysterious character in gaming is. Perhaps you may be thinking of G-Man from the Half-Life series, or Pyramid Head from Silent Hill 2, or maybe even Wario.
Wah!
But today I'm here to present something far different from any of those characters. I believe the most mysterious character in gaming is none other than the Gray Man from LSD Dream Emulator, and allow me to tell you why. For those of you who don't know what LSD Dream Emulator is, let's briefly fill you in. LSD Dream Emulator was released on October 22nd, 1998 for the PlayStation 1. The release was exclusive to Japan only. Its initial reaction from audiences was that it was, quote, boring, crazy, and awful. This is most likely because the game's director, Osamu Sato, was not wanting to make a video game by traditional standards, but instead wanted to make a timeless piece of digital art. And indeed, he would do just that, as years later the game would become quite popular amongst Western audiences, perhaps for its crazy and strange themes. The game itself is based off of a dream journal that was kept for 10 years by staff member Hiroko Nishikawa. The game has no real plot, as throughout the game you travel to different worlds and dreamscapes that can have a multitude of looks and vibes. Some places are more normal, like the natural world, while others are more dark in theme, such as the Violence District. Depending on what you touch or where you go, you will travel to different locations. Throughout one's playthrough, you will find an occasional creature or person throughout the different dreamscapes. Some are hostile, such as the gunman, while others are simply just there for whatever reason. But there is one character who stands out amongst the rest, and that is the Gray Man. The Gray Man has gone by other names as well, such as Shadow Man, Mysterious Figure, Greycoat, or Spy. His model name in-game is simspy.mom, so perhaps that is why people call him the Spy. His features are simple, yet mysterious. He has no real details outside of his hat, his trench coat, and his completely gray color scheme. It should also be noted that the Gray Man doesn't walk, but glides. He seems to also hunch over ever so slightly. The Gray Man seems to only appear on B-type days, which means that he only appears every other day. For example, in the game, day 1 is an A-type day, and day 2 is a B-type day, and then day 3 is an A-type day, etc., etc. When he does spawn, it usually is at random, meaning he can be near or far at any given time. Upon encountering the Gray Man, he usually slowly glides towards the player and can even teleport if the player chooses to run away from him, which makes him even spookier when encountered. Like almost everything else in LSD Dream Emulator, the Gray Man does affect the player upon coming into contact with him. If the player touches the Gray Man, a bright flash will occur and he will disappear. Another effect of touching the Gray Man is that he erases flashback data. Flashback data is an option that will appear after the player has been to various places and seen an event that the game considers notable enough for the player to remember it. It is also claimed that the more you avoid meeting the Gray Man, the more often he will appear. All of this is perhaps why many people believe him to be the main antagonist of the game. The 3 dreamscapes that the Gray Man will usually appear in are Happy Town, Violence District, and Kyoto. With such a mysterious character, there are of course plenty of theories and speculations on who or what he may be. Some of the more interesting ones go as follows. The Gray Man could be a result of hypnagogia, a state of sleep where the mind can sometimes imagine a threatening entity or presence. Next is the alien theory, where it is claimed that the Gray Man may represent an alien probing the conscious mind in a dream, hence the mind erase effect. This theory holds some merit, as there is a starship that appears in the Violence District, as well as UFOs in the natural world. It is also said that he could be a reference to the common drug Difen, which is found in Benadryl. This recreational drug has been known to create instances of a Hat Man or shadow figure, which seems similar to the Gray Man. Personally, I think all of these theories are interesting and plausible, but we may never know for sure. Also, just a side note, but while researching this topic, I found that there is a file in the game called simdog.mom that is for an unused dog model. It's believed that this would have been the Gray Man's, or at least have something to do with him due to the similar file names. I think what sets the Gray Man apart from the others is that there isn't much to him. What I mean to say is that there is a mysterious aura around him, unlike that of, say, G-Man from Half-Life. Not to say that these other characters don't have a mysterious aura, but characters like G-Man or Pyramid Head, for example, seem to have a direct correlation to the plot and character. The Gray Man, on the other hand, is a mysterious entity with seemingly no real agenda other than to stalk the player. While the Gray Man clearly carries the elements of an antagonist, we also can't say for certain that this is the case, outside of his dark and spooky appearance. I think there's still room for speculation on the Gray Man and his true purpose, which adds to the mystery even more. Perhaps the reason for his existence is simply that he appeared in Nishikawa's dreams and was thus added to the game. But where's the fun in that, right? If he isn't doing something from a cliche creepypasta, then, well, he just ain't doing it right. For the longest time, I've had a fascination with the Gray Man and will always find him to be one of the most mysterious characters in gaming. If you haven't tried out LSD Dream Emulator before, I highly recommend it, and if you do, remember to always keep an eye out for the Gray Man. Peace, guys.